Simon, in North America, we call the selection process of an investment banker a beauty contest or an investment banker bake-off. I don't know if you have those terms in the UK, but maybe walk us through what a business owner and entrepreneur should be thinking about in the process of selecting the right investment banker and using this kind of bake-off or beauty contest.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we call it a beauty parade, but very similar. Bake-off I've not heard of before, but I think it's the most important appointment, going for an investment banker, because we talk about the other advisors, but we will help our client. We always say we're the first appointment, and then we will help them appoint everyone else because it's someone there that we know. And therefore, when they're looking to appoint the investment banker, they need to have someone who they're prepared to work with for the full journey. It really should be about chemistry and fit, because you're going to work with an investment banker through highs and lows of the transaction. You're going to be spending long hours with them, weekends, evening working. You want them to be available, but you want to be able to trust their advice and trust them and lean on them through the process. So it's a mix of maybe sector experience. It's a mix of just fees is a key point often for the entrepreneurs. They've grown their businesses, not always through being profligate with their profits. They like to retain them and manage costs, and that's something that would be high on their agenda. We've actually just had a pitch process where they've asked us to refine our fees, and we've gone back and said, choose the people that you think you can work with first, and then we'll have a discussion about fees, because we don't think that should be a priority part for them in that selection process. So it really is about who you think will drive the best deal and who you think you can work with best.
Bill, with the beauty contest or the beauty parade, is the ability to kind of just compare like engagement proposals from different banks, is that one of the benefits of running a process like that for selecting an investment banker?
Well, who's making that determination to determine the different proposals from the different investment banks? Is it the entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think it would be the entrepreneur. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at trying to determine who to hire, echoing what Simon said, chemistry is hugely important. You're going to be working with these people for a long time. If you just don't like them, don't hire them. For me, what I always encourage them is you want to hire an investment banker for their negotiating prowess, how well they negotiate. You want to understand the process they're going to run. Are they going to clear the market? Are they going to talk to all the viable buyers? What are they going to do to be able to enhance the value of the business and check references? And the negotiating prowess ties into the fees. And what I always tell people, what I tell a business owner is ask for a fee proposal and then cut those fees to the bone. And if the business owner accepts your lowball, or the investment banker rather accepts the lowball offer from the business owner, do not hire that investment banker. The way that investment banker negotiates with you is how they will negotiate for you. And you might think you're saving a few dollars by taking the low-cost provider, but you're probably going to get low-cost work. It's not to say you should overpay at all, but to Simon's point, it really should be one of the last things that you think about, assuming that the fees are reasonable and within the range of what you're seeing from other firms.
Yeah, that's great advice for sure. And I think business owners listening to this are going to appreciate that. Michael, the other important piece that Bill had mentioned is an M&A lawyer. Can you talk about some of the skills that you've seen in M&A lawyers that you've dealt with that are really beneficial to the process and that should be, kind of present in the person that's hired?
Sure. Just to elaborate on that last question, though, let me just go back and just add a couple of things. One would be that the process of interviewing them is very important. They're going to be a reflection of you. Do you feel comfortable with that? Are they willing to ask you the tough questions? Ask them about your company. see if they have an opinion about it, and make a judgment on their questions. If they're not curious, if they're not rolling up their sleeves, that's kind of a red flag. The other question that I would ask is, who's on the team? Who's going to be working on my transaction? Very often, one of us three may go in and do the sale, and you never see the senior person again. And so, so that's very important to find out who's on the team. I would say, in general, the more minds, the more bodies, the better. And then the third thing I would just add is international expertise. Having an international network of buyers is more and more important today. And ask them if your company lends itself to an international buyer, what capabilities they have there. Going back to your original question, the M&A attorney, one, I think it's very important to make sure they're experienced in M&A. They're not just the general counsel or have just general skills. Ask them about their past transactions. Very often, I would ask for referrals and call those people and listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying. Very often, they may be involved in a transaction, and that client may never want to talk to the lawyer again. If you're talking to ask accountants, ask other investment bankers for referrals. The key that we find is style, and sometimes you want a bull, but very often in a M&A transaction, that calm, cool, Marine-like person is the better, I'll just say, personality profile.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen some bull M&A lawyers, and it sometimes creates some challenges in the end.
Yeah, you're not hiring a litigator. A litigator may have a different criteria.
Yeah. John, if I can jump in, and I agree with everything Michael said, I think those are great points. One other aspect that we've seen, and when you're looking at hiring an M&A attorney, is make sure that they have a sizable enough firm, that they have enough associates and junior people working for them, because we've had situations where you've had that guy with a single lawyer on his own, and he's trying to do everything, and a lot of the work is putting together schedules and collecting information and collating information. And the last thing you'd want is a senior partner at a law firm handling all that grunt work. That's a lot of work, and if they don't have a couple people to help out, you're not going to get the deal done in a timely fashion. So size, and make sure they've got enough of staff to help support the important things that lawyer is doing.
For sure. Simon, maybe you can bring in your experience here. And have you seen that, like, if there's a good dynamic between the M&A lawyer and the M&A advisor, investment banker, it is supposed to be a cohesive team. So should the M&A advisor be involved in selecting that M&A lawyer, and past experience of them working together, does that bring benefit and value to the transaction?
Absolutely, and it does do. I think it's all we all prefer working with lawyers where we know they're going to deliver what they say, and at the time they say they're going to deliver it, because we're running a tight process. We don't want to be managing the lawyer as well as managing all the other DD providers, due diligence providers. We want the lawyer to take responsibility for their areas and know that they're working through that. And it's only by having experience of working with them in the past that we can be confident that they're actually going to deliver what they say. So we would tell a lot of our clients, who do you know already? Are they, in our view, up to the M&A job? Do they have the right team in terms of the same comments Michael and Bill have said? It depends on the complex areas relating to that particular disposal or transaction. Do we feel that they've got the right expertise to be able to manage those points, whether they be environmental based or property based? There may be a complex demerger there as well. But having experience, we would look to introduce the people we know and introduce them to our client. And to be fair with lawyers, we would probably only introduce two and get the client to choose between two. You don't want a big beauty parade of 6 or 7. You might do from an investment banking process, because what you get from that is everyone else's ideas on potential buyers. With a lawyer, you're not going to get that kind of information. You're just going to get a whole load of different fee scales. So I think from a lawyer, it's about who your investment bank has relationships with and experience with in terms of delivering the right job.
Great advice.